Hi guys, welcome to another video. This video is going to be about how to set up your budget, how to make your own categories and how to set your priorities so that you can save and you can track your expenses. So basically this is a viewers requested video. So there is a lot of I see that people are trying to understand how to set up a budget and everything. I'll explain here how you can set up your categories and then how you can plan your savings and how you can even set up your emergency fund. So first you can start jotting down what all is your expenses like I have mentioned here. So for example, this is all I'm going to put a very imaginary figure just for you to understand here. So I have listed down all the expenses. So this can vary in your life, in any other's life. So please jot down your own expenses. So house rent, I'm just mentioning as 8,000. Electricity bill, 4,000. So this is what I'm mentioning as monthly expense. Phone bill, 2,000. Internet bill, 1,200. If you have any loan amount, mention the loan amount. If not, then leave it. Petrol, 4,000. If you have any expense in the car, then you can mention like if you are getting your car servicing done or any car wash done. So I'll just mention like a car wash, 500. School fee, I'll put it as 10,000. Any extracurricular classes your kid is going, or if they're going to extra tuitions and all, then just mention that amount. Extra school expenses, like where you have spent for the activities, for some stationaries. This is all tentative. Hypothetically, I'm taking this amount just for your understanding. Grocery expense in a month, I'm just taking as 4,000. Veggies, I'm taking as 3,000. There's a lot of activity going on today. It's one of the, there's a lot of celebration happening around. So you will be hearing a lot of sound in this video. So please pardon me for that. Uh, Cooking gas, 1,000. So house help, 3,000. If you go for any shopping or anything, you figure out how much. So basically this, if you don't know, like this is a variable amount. If you don't know how much, then you can leave it for the time being and you can come back to this later. Any miscellaneous expense, any medical expense, any salon expense. So if you go to salon every month, you must be knowing an expense. I'm just putting as 1,500. Medical expense, we really never know. It's always a surprise. So if you want to allot any money, think about it. But all the variable amount, you come to this later. So these are like a fixed amount. So now if you don't know how much you spend in your groceries, how much you spend on veggies, because it varies. You have a control on the expense of these categories. So what you can do, uh, so once you set up, like I'm setting up this amount, allotting this amount here, but then every month, at least 1 month, you jot down all your expenses in a notebook. For example, on 1st of March, you have spent this amount on snacks. On 2nd of March, you spend. So every money you are spending, just track it down, just list it down somewhere in a notebook, what money you are spending where. So only this way you will be able to figure out. So I'm not mentioning this here. I'll come back to this later. Any insurances if you have that you are, so you must be spending either the premium amount must be giving yearly. For example, 12,000 you are spending per annum per year. Then you divide it into every month. So 12,000 divided by 12. So it is 1,000 every month. You should be keeping this much money aside. So if you have similar any other premium, like for car insurance, if your premium is around 8,000, then divide it by 12 months, which is 666. You can even figure out the loan amount also here. So if you have any loan where you are giving any monthly EMI, mention it here. For example, 4,000. Now you have to see from here which is your fixed expense. So I'm going to write fixed expense everywhere where it is a fixed, which is not varying. So this is fixed. This also you can consider fixed. Fixed. This is a variable. This is fixed. House help is fixed. This is fixed. This is fixed. This is fixed. So now let's calculate all the fixed amounts. 8,000. So the fixed expense here is 45,866. This is a hypothetical amount. I'm again saying that. You please make your own expense. So what you can do now, and of course the loan is also fixed expense. So plus 4,000. 49,000. So this is how you do. So now you say fixed expense is 49,866. Now here you have to also mention your fixed the income. So I'm going to write it here. Your income amount, for example, is your X amount. So fixed expense is your, which is absolutely mandatory. You can't do without it. So what you do now for the rest of the expenditure. So I'm just mentioning here, for example, it will be easy for me to deduct and show you the expense. Mm, let's write 60,000 is your 65, maybe 65,000 is your income. So if 49,866 is your expense, so you are left with 15,134. Now here you have to look after your variable expenses. So variable expense is your shopping. So shopping, dining, if you go for lunch at work, miscellaneous, and medical expenses. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even if you mention like, so let's just allot 500 rupees for a month. You see wherever you want to spend more and not even have a category, just figure out your categories. So these are all variable expenses. Okay. So 1,000, 2,000, 2,500. So 2,500 is your variable expenses. So now for savings, you are left with minus 2,500, 12,634. This amount you can allot in savings. This 12,000, this is how you can have your savings goal. So you allot some money in emergency fund. If you have any vacation planned, this can be an expense. It's like a sinking fund actually. Savings is your actual savings where you build up a fund, whether it is for a month expense or a 2 months or 3 months, 4 months expense. Let's start with the emergency fund. I have already done one emergency fund video where I have discussed this expenses. So this is like how you set up your emergency fund. You have already mentioned all your fixed expenses, which is absolutely necessary. This is not like your shopping or which is unnecessary expenses, and this some expenses if you can live without it, omit, don't mention those expenses. Write only absolutely mandatory expenses. This is how you know that this is my mandatory expense. So this is my 1 month expense. So for 1 month, if I always need to have an emergency fund of 1 month. Up to you if you want to have an emergency fund of 2 months, 3 months. But for me, I'm considering emergency fund 1 month expense as my emergency fund, and rest I want to build up 12 months expense as I want to keep it in my savings. So here if you have 12,634 to allot, you see how soon you can build up. So let's say you want to put 1,500 in vacation every month, minus 1,500, you are left with, So now I want to divide it into two categories. So I'm just doing divided by 2. So 5,567 for each. This is how I can do set up my emergency fund, so I know in how many months time I can reach my goal. So you know your fixed expense is 49,866. 49,866. So let's divide by 5,067. So almost it will take you almost 9 months to reach your emergency fund goal. So consecutively, if you save this amount for 9 months, so see, let's say 5, 7 into 9. See, you are reaching your emergency fund. And this is how also you will start building your savings. So let me know if you're able to figure out your budget with this sort of budgeting method. I have tried to break it down, make it really easy to understand. So if you have any comments or anything you need to ask, please leave a comment down below, and please hit the like button and subscribe button if you haven't. So guys, I shot this part of the video a little later because I thought of including this gist is important, because this will help you understand the breakdown of the budget that we just did. So hypothetically, we have taken income of 65,000, where our fixed expense came to 49,866. Variable expense is this, which keeps changing, which is not a fixed one, and then we have the savings. So when we add this three expense, we will reach our income amount. So we get to understand what categories where we are spending when we do this type of budget breakdown, and we know what amount and where we are saving. So having a financial goal setup is important, so that so when you know that when you are saving each month, what you are going to do with the saving. So either you build up a saving, or if you need to save for some financial goal, you know how much you are saving, and in case you need to have more saving, then you reduce your expense. So this is how you have to plan out your finances. The categories will help you to understand where you are splurging in case you need to strike through any expenses which you think is not important, like the variable expenses. You can minimize the expense there, put more into your savings. The more you save, the more closure you get to your financial goals. So try to work on your budget as per your requirement. Everyone's budget is different, so there is no hard and fast rule that this is the way you have to follow. This is how it works out for me. So tracking your expenses is extremely important. Only then you will get to know where is your money going, where are you spending the money. So keep a track of your expenses. If you have liked this video, please do press the like button. If you haven't subscribed till now, please subscribe. And in case you want to see any other kind of video, please leave it in the comment section below. So see you in my next video. Till then, bye.